Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, episode 22. I am your host, Maz, and of course I am joined by my lovely co-hosts, Ben and Ryan. How are we doing, chaps? We all good?
Amazing,
good, mate.
Massive 3 points against Blackpool. if you don't understand the joke.
Yeah, 3 more points towards safety. Can't beat it, lads, can you?
Can't beat
it. Yeah, can't beat it. Well, yeah. So of course we are going to be discussing the Blackpool game and how that all went. Of course, other talking points such as potential transfers in and out, and also we'll be looking forward to the Fulham game as well, which is a massive game. But of course,
huge.
We'll be getting on to that. That's huge. Yeah, huge. As
huge.
Donald Trump would tell us. So let's kick off then, boys. Straight away. We'll start with you, Ryan. I know it was an FA Cup game and we did get the win. But what was your sort of general thoughts of the game as a whole?
Yeah, it was okay. It was all right. I mean, it was enough to get a win, as you said. Like we created enough chances to win. I guess that's all that matters. It wasn't a pretty one, but then I guess. There's two ways I thought.
How many games have been pretty this season?
Yeah, true. But the way I thought of it is, we can go two ways. We can go the way of thinking, okay, it wasn't the best, or we can look at it and say, look, a win's a win. We ground it out. We showed that we can win ugly, which is quite nice to see sometimes, because it was a big problem for us that we couldn't actually do that. So I'm going to stay on the positive side of it and say that. But yeah, I do agree. It wasn't great, was it?
Yeah. And Ben, anything else to add?
My review's probably going to be as good as the actual game was. What I wrote down was it was disappointing that we didn't show more class because we obviously are meant to be much better than them.
Yeah.
We should have put the game to bed so much earlier.
Yeah.
And obviously, like the 2 moments of quality was their goal and our goal. I think our second goal was obviously so lucky, but it's about time we got some luck, let's be honest. When have we had that kind of luck?
True.
Exactly.
True. And just to elaborate on Ryan's point as well, the point about you make, Ryan, that we sort of won ugly or like saw it through, if that makes sense. Like I thought when it went 1-1, I'm not going to lie to you, I was like, oh God, here we go again. But then the fact that we came out for the second half and ended up winning it, I thought, again, like Ryan said, it just showed like we did actually grind a win out. And again, it was the same with Leeds. And we all, well, I mean, I speak for myself, but as soon as we went 1-0 up, I thought, here we go. We're gonna, Leeds are gonna score, and then we're gonna, capitulate and go and lose 2-1, 3-1 potentially.
Good
but
word,
the fact that, the fact that we both games. The fact that we won both games. Yeah, I know it's only Blackpool, and people might say, "Well, you should be beating them." Blah blah blah. But the fact that we have actually beaten them, I think that's the best thing we can take out of the game, to be honest. And yeah, mate, like you said, Ben, their goal was actually class. And that Luke Garbett, he's a decent. You can tell he's ex-Prem. Like you can tell he's got that Premier League caliber. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, no,
decent free kick on him as we saw. Yeah, decent free kick on him as we saw, and then obviously the ball in was great. It was a really well worked goal, like a little back heel from Yates, who looked like a bloke from Shoosh. He looks like it. Sorry, but if you see a picture of Yates, like type him up on your phone, he looks like he'd be in Shoosh. And then like a little cut back heel.
If anyone doesn't know what Shoosh is, it's a nightclub in Brighton. If anyone outside
you should know if you live in Brighton, of course. If you're of age, of course. And then
Aaron
great
Conway,
cross in,
massive.
and Gary Medine, of course, scores against us once again. I should say it in the preview. Let me just boost my ego a bit. Well, me and the boys have been invited to do previews and reviews for BBC Saturday. So shout out to BBC Saturday. And on my one, I said we need to watch out Gary Medine because he'll probably be our threat. And there you go. I cursed.
Mystic Ben.
Yeah, Mystic Ben, yeah.
I said, this is going to sound really weird, right? So I feel like I've got a problem with my phone lock screens. So if I put someone on my lock screen, it almost jinxes it. So I put Mopé on.
Well, in a good way or a bad way?
Bad. I put Mopé on my lock screen and he went through that horrible drought, right? So I changed it to the Lamptey one. And I thought, right, we're going to put Lamptey on, change it up a little bit. And then he got injured and he's been out for like 2 months. So I was like, right, okay. So
just have a black screen, mate. Just have a black screen.
So before the Blackpool game, I put Gary Medine on it. Just thinking, maybe it will jinx Medine. But he ended up scoring anyway, so it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. But, I ended up having Gary Medine.
I think playing us so much?
Yeah, I've still got it. I'm not even joking.
Let's have a look. For God's sake. Fair play. So but why does Gary Medine love scoring against us? Like, has he just got some weird fetish for Brighton or something?
The only thing you can remember about Gary Medine, he loves scoring against Brighton in his criminal record, so, that's pretty good.
Has he got a criminal record?
You don't know. He spent like 6 months in jail. He was...
was he in the passenger seat with Marcos Alonso?
He got done for GBH and ABH, and I think he beat 2 different people up. He broke someone's jaw or his cheekbone or something. And
in the slammer with Troy Deeney, obviously, then. Because he would have done that as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Shout out Troy. Shout out Troy.
Mate, madness. Well, there you go. He loves playing against Brighton, and he has got a criminal record, as Ryan just mentioned. So that's definitely going to be a quiz question in the not so near future, I reckon. Right. So one question, boys, I did want to kick off with actually. So before we always look into the game a little bit more with like the goals and stuff, and of course we will be getting onto the Bissouma banger as well. But just before that, boys, I just want to sort of put a question out there. So we'll start with you, Ben. My question to both of you is: do you think? What's your opinion on Graham Potter taking the competition seriously? So let me just elaborate quickly on that. So obviously he fielded a pretty strong starting lineup against Blackpool, and even his subs I think reflected like how seriously he was taking it. So even what was it when it was 1-1 we brought on or maybe it was 2-1 actually.
Trossard.
Yeah,
we literally just went 2-0 up and we brought on Maty, Trossard and March.
Yeah, so the fact that he's put really strong sort of starting lineup out, and he's backed up with the subs instead of giving like the likes of Sanders, for example, bringing them kind of players on. Do you like that, or would you want to see him blooding some of the Max Sanders and the ones that don't really get much of an opportunity in the cup games?
I just start with you, didn't you? I think I'll back it. I'll definitely go don't go for the cup, but try and have a nice run. I mean, why not? It kind of shows that he has respect for the FA Cup, which a lot of fans and quite a lot of managers obviously don't. See Klopp. His record in the past 7 years is mad. Like constantly getting knocked out in the 5th or 4th round. I'm a fan of it. I could have a little nice run in the cup. It's a shame that we get Leicester though, because I would rather play. I'm not even joking. I'd rather play City or Man United than play Leicester, because they're guaranteed to win. There's no kind of upset on the cards really, because they are that good. It's a shame that we got them, but because they absolutely demolished us, didn't they, when we played them at Leicester last time?
It'll be away again as well.
One of the worst days this season.
Yeah.
It is away again. Yeah.
And Ryan,
to answer your question, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with Potter doing it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm with Ben, to be fair. I like us going for the cup. Like sometimes you want to. I understand. Like last year, we sort of threw it away against Sheffield Wednesday on purpose, really. But I quite like it. I remember the trip to Wembley was just great memories. I know we can't do it this year if we did get there, but it's just why not go for it? I mean, what else? We've never won. I think we're one of only 4 clubs in England to have never won a major trophy. So
is it
why not?
Well?
Yeah, Palace is on there.
Palace haven't. Yeah.
At least I'll add on to that though.
The others.
I'll add on to that. I think it was quite clever of Potter because winning against Leeds, then beating Blackpool, and that's 2 wins on the bounce. Even though it's Blackpool in a different competition, the team's now in decent confidence after 2 wins back to back. And now we're playing Fulham. Whereas you look at Fulham's record, they lost United, and then they got beaten 3-0 in it against Burnley.
Against Burnley. Yeah,
which is embarrassing. If we got beaten by Burnley, you'd be saying Potter out. That is bad. Yeah. And they put out a fairly strong team. I
agree with you to a certain extent, but Burnley themselves have picked up a lot. Like, mate, they beat Liverpool the other day, and they're picking up results and they're picking up form. So I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. Like to lose against a fellow sort of relegation candidate 3-0 is quite a big. Well, a big statement. But at the same time, Burnley themselves are starting to pick up a bit of form. So,
you could say that about Fulham though. People have been impressed with Fulham the past few games.
Mate,
we'll get a lot.
No, definitely, mate. In the preview later on, I was going to say, like, I'm really sort of not worried because I think we're going into the game. Again, we'll get into it a bit later on, but they are definitely a good team for them. We shouldn't really be sort of guaranteeing points or anything like that. But anyway, let's get back into the game then. So the Blackpool game itself. So let's just talk about Bissouma's finish. So first of all, we all must have seen it. He must have had 2 or 3 attempts where he absolutely scuffed it wide. In
one of them went so wide.
Yeah, you could just tell he was trying it. And I was like, come on, mate, give it up. And then he just absolutely unleashed.
So perfect.
Mate, what a goal.
Imagine if there was fans there to see that. Oh, that would have been so good. Because that would have been one of the best we've ever seen at the Amex. Like that's right up there. I think.
Facts. But he's got a history of it, doesn't he? Because he's done it on international duty. He's done it for Lille. And he's done it for us. What was it? Burnley, and
Everton, and also like against Birmingham in like the pre-season match a few seasons ago. He scored an absolute worldie as well. Like that.
Yeah, so he loves an absolute
he's got it in his locker.
Yeah, but if he's
one of those, added like 5 million onto his price tag, didn't it? Though.
Yeah,
that's true. Whatever his price tag is now, like that is upped it again because he keeps scoring those bangers.
But I think he'll definitely go in summer, though. I can't lie. Like I think he'll probably be going to an Arsenal. He keeps doing that. Like that.
He keeps doing that emoji, like the time emoji. What's it? The hourglass emoji with 3 dots on his caption. Yeah. It's just like, what are you trying to say, mate? Contract or... Who was the dude that tweeted the clip from Wolf of Wall Street of Matthew McConaughey doing his Fugazi doesn't exist. It's like Bissouma talking about his contract to Tony Bloom. I was like, that is peak. Because we need to do the same with him as we done with Lamptey, because obviously we tied him down. We can get a bit more money for him eventually.
Yeah.
We need to do the same with Bissouma, I think.
I can't see us tying him down. Anyway. I've got to be honest.
Do you know
obviously, no, but I mean, like, get him a contract so we can sell him for more in the summer. God knows how it works, but for some reason it works.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I just can't see Bissouma doing that. I think he's now at a stage in his career where he's ready to go to the next level, whereas Lamptey can go to the next level, if you know what I mean, but maybe not yet. I think Bissouma's ready. He's been here for a couple of years. He was in and out of the team, wasn't he, 2018, 19? Then he's just different level, isn't he? You could always see it in him, but now he's different class. And I think
so consistent.
He oozes class for me. He just oozes,
and anyone that he goes to. Yeah, I agree. Anyone that he goes to, I think he'll do a great job. And if he does end up at Arsenal or in Liverpool or something, I guarantee he'll do well. So yeah.
No, I agree.
I think he would be great for City. I think he'll be a great signing for City.
Yeah, not a bad shot.
What, take over the Fernandinho role?
Imagine working with De Bruyne.
Maybe. Yeah, imagine. Oh, Jesus.
That'd be mad. But also as well, just going back to his shooting as well. I love how he's one of those like players who'll have like 10 attempts and just hope one goes in. Like he doesn't care about just skewing one wide. And I actually respect it. Like I actually respect it because he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna shoot.
That's what he used to do, isn't it? When he first signed, and it was like probably one of his worst traits. He'd always just try and shoot.
Yeah,
I remember. I actually said just before the goal, I said, "Oh look, Bissouma's trying his old trait again of trying to shoot from 30 yards. It's never going to go in." And then he just shuts me up completely with that banger. So it's fair to him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was getting a little bit frustrated by the fact he just kept like, what was it? One of them was awful. Like it was like a little P roller down. Like I think it went out for a corner. Maybe it was that bad. Sorry, for a goal kick. And I was just getting a bit frustrated, but then he done that. I was like, fair play. You can't really argue with that one. But then we talked about the goals well for Blackpool. So they scored just before half time. So I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking, oh god, here we go. A cup set is on the horizon here. Yeah. But no, like we mentioned earlier, great goal. Like fair play to them. Really well worked. Garbett, great cross, and then Medine with a good finish in the end as well.
It was a good goal, but.
I was going to say Walton looked a bit.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, would you put it on him, or do you think it's a bit unfair?
It's a good.
I don't know. It was such close range, wasn't it?
I think the whole defence was poor. Really, I think everyone was. It was just a bit of a shambles. Really, the whole thing. I mean, if you look at it from a defensive point of view, you think you shouldn't be conceding that sort of goal, especially against Blackpool. I agree with Walton. I think he should be doing a lot better, but I don't want to get on his back because he's his first game in I think it's his first start at the Amex for 6 years or something ridiculous. So I'll give him the benefit. But I
Proper gave the ball away again, didn't he? I forgot about Proper's habit of giving the ball away in dodgy positions. So he done it so much when he was playing for us consistently a couple of seasons ago under Chris. And he done it earlier in the game, and we got out of jail. But they obviously done it again. And then I scored from it.
Because that's the thing. I think with Proper, do you know what I think about Proper is? I think in games against, for example, the lesser sides, so the Blackpools, etc. I feel like his concentration levels go down quite a bit. Whereas against the big teams, like Man City, I thought he was class against Man City, and I think he enjoys. Exactly. I think he enjoys the bigger occasions, and and that's not a good thing.
Naturally.
Yeah, no, true. But
naturally, you're gonna lower and raise your game based on who you're playing, and I think that's where we shouldn't Blackpool. I think you
shouldn't do that. As a professional, though, you shouldn't.
But no, that's the difference.
But I think you will.
This is the difference between the top level players. So the top level players, they won't do that. They'll no matter who's in front of them, they will go out and play their best. But no, I know what you're saying, Ryan. Like it is natural. Like if you are, let's say you're a Premier League team and you go out against a League 2 side, you are naturally just going to think that inferior complex. You're going to have like, all right, we're better. We're in the Premier League. You're League 2. You know, we might not need to try. So I agree with you. But then the good players, the one with the good mentalities, and the class players, they will just step up in any occasion. And ultimately Brighton players did do that, really, didn't they? Like, they saw it through. We could have just easily when it went 1-1, we could have just been like, right, let's just.
It could have easily been, kind of 3 or 4 or 5 as well. The amount of chances we had.
No, agreed.
Moped, loads of chances. Who was it? The other one that I think there was another really good chance. I think Percy Towler
had a decent
turn and shot. Yeah. So there's quite a few. There's quite a few chances in there.
I'll mention. I think McAllister quickly.
Go on.
His corners at the beginning, I think he'd had 5 unbelievable corners in a row, and then I think 3 of them had decent headers. So Webster had a couple chances and Dunk, and none of the headers were on target. One of them should have at least gone on target. But Alexis's delivery from corners were class.
McAllister just looks like a real deal at the moment, doesn't he? He looks just like he can be really, really good. I think we're finally getting to see him at his best, because I think the last 3 or 4 games he's just been a different class, and when he starts getting 90 minutes every week, I think he's going to be really good. I mean, we look at Bissouma, as I said earlier, it took him a while to get eased in. He didn't just come in and was really good like he is now. He came in, had a few substitute appearances, wasn't always starting, but you could always see he was special, and I think the same with Alexis. I think he's going to be great.
In the first half, he played more wide though, didn't he? And he was out of the game, but as soon as we was put more in the middle for the second half, he was so much better. We started playing a bit more better as well.
That's when I sometimes think, not question, but that's when I sometimes sort of think about whether Potter knows where some players play best, if that makes sense, or if those players, so for example with Trossard, sometimes he doesn't play him in the best position, and Trossard just is awful. And I just feel like sometimes some of those players, either they don't know where their best position is, or Potter doesn't know. It's one of the two, and it just frustrates me because, like you just said, McAllister, when he's in his natural position, he's unbelievable. But then when he has to go out wide or go in these other pockets that he's not really comfortable in, you can just tell that he's just not up for it. So it doesn't. I don't know. It does not worry me, but I just want us to be more consistent in terms of where we play, where people are playing. Because Trossard again, because I thought he was terrible. Again, I thought he had a poor game.
Yeah, his crossing, apart from one cross, he had four crosses. One of them.
I know he didn't have much time to play. He wasn't on the pitch that long, but he was. He was.
I think with a player like Alexis, as you said earlier about how that's a bit of a worry. I always remember a quote, and I can't remember who said it, but it's. You always want, your best players in the world to be able to play in more than just one position. And I think with McAllister, he's come in and he's, it's hard to say whether he doesn't know his best position, because clearly his best position is attacking midfield behind that sort of number 10 role. And obviously that is his best position. But at the same time, he might be saying, look, I want to try go wide, or Potter might be saying, look, I think you could do that, because if you can get a player working on 2 positions or 3 positions, you look at like Cristiano Ronaldo. I know it's a completely different level, but Ronaldo can play anywhere on that front 3, and you could argue that he could even play in that number 10 as well, because he's that good. And I think with the top players in the world, you'd like to put them in that sort of bracket of you can have a bit of a versatile player. I can't remember who said that quote.
I get what you're saying, but then I think that's a perfect example. He's not at that level yet. So the fact that he's not at that level yet, play him in that attacking mid where he's comfortable and he can do bits, and then once he gets a bit more once he progresses, then start putting him out wide and start experimenting, because I feel like he's not at that level yet where you start messing about with him in terms of positioning. But again, it's a valid point. I get what you're saying. It's good to I
think it'd also be a case of Potter as well. He needs to adapt to his team and what he wants as well, because we don't know the systems that he goes through every single. I'm sure if Liam was on here right now, he'd be able to diagnose everything that Potter was trying to do and what formations he was trying to switch to, and twinks and all that sort of thing. So it's hard for us to say because I'm not a football manager, but I would think that would probably be the reason. And with a player like McAllister, he's very young, a lot of potential. You want to try him in different positions to see if he can, where he does work best, because you never know. You might end up having a player who's actually better in a different position. I think, you ask any good player and they say, where did you play when you were young? Usually they just say, not where they play now. I mean, if you ask I remember Ashley Barnes used to say he was a goalkeeper, and then he's a striker. And you ask goalkeepers and they were strikers, or it really does.
Even Josh last week on the last episode, he said that Calvin Phillips used to be a centre attacker mid, didn't he? Now he's moved into like an anchor man type role.
Exactly.
No, it's definitely an interesting one, isn't it? Like you said, we're never going to know the real answer, but it's always worth debate, talking about it, and it's quite interesting actually to see how he develops, because I think, like you said, Ryan, I think he's going to be definitely one of our key players going into this sort of back end of the season. Now I feel like he's really found himself in the team, so hopefully, he'll keep playing and keep doing bits for us. Fingers crossed.
And Veltman, before I forget, I know in the second half he wasn't as good, but in the first half, Veltman was like the standout player for me, apart from Bissouma's banger. He was class up and down.
He was really good.
He was solid. Like 900k, what a bargain! What a bargain! I know.
It's a good job he had that clause in his contract, wasn't it? He's very, very
That's
good,
the
and his experience
dumbest clause ever.
Yeah.
I mean, when you play Ajax for God knows how many years, you're going to pick up a thing or two, aren't you? So the fact that we got that kind of caliber player,
he was there for 17 years, wasn't he? It's mad.
That's actually mad. How old is he now? He can't be that old, surely.
29, 28. 29.
No, he's been there since like a little baba.
Yeah,
is he 29? You sure?
I
think so.
Fair play.
Let's have a look.
Mental. Yeah, go on. Have a little search. Search quickly.
29.
Right.
Yeah, 29. Mad.
That's mad. That's actually mental.
Damn, I thought he was younger.
I just know players' ages for some reason. That's more because I just search them up when they sign.
More for me.
But then, like we mentioned earlier as well, it was, let's be real, it was very comfortable. Like you said, Ryan, we could have easily had 3 or 4. There's chances fell to Maupay. Was it Shaqiri had a chance as well?
I think Shaqiri did. He doesn't look up to it. I'm not gonna lie. He doesn't. It might be unfair to judge it, but he doesn't look up to first team football as yet. He had that one opportunity where the ball was played into him. He just skied it. One opportunity he made a really good run. And then with his left foot, he just put it well wide of the goal. Nowhere near.
He was trying too hard, wasn't he?
I think he had a header where he literally just slapped him in the face and went straight down. Yeah, he was trying too hard. I think you're right there, Ron.
Yeah, I think personally for me, the Percy Tau Shaqiri partnership up top just did not work. That was just not. It just wasn't clicking for them, and I think, like you said, Ryan, I think it might have been a combination of both of them trying a bit too hard and trying to impress too much, and then not forgetting about the basics. Because I was seeing them get the ball, and then I was giving it away. We'll talk about Percy a bit later, but for example, Percy Tau, he was very sloppy in possession. I thought he wasn't releasing it when he needed to. I remember there was one opportunity where there was him and Shaqiri 2-on-1, I think it was, or 2-on-2. And he could have easily just slotted Shaqiri in, but instead he fell over the ball. And I know, again, it might have just been the pitch, whatever, but it's just those kind of moments for me. It's just come on, you just slip him in there.
I think
might as well do Percy Cam now. Let's do
Percy Cam now.
With Percy and with Percy and Shaqiri, I'll give them the benefit purely because they are very, very new players. They're new to the country. They're new to the club. They're new to everything, really. So I'll give them the benefit just because of that. And obviously they don't know each other very well, let's face it. Shaqiri's been here for a few months, Percy Tau's been here for a couple of weeks, so they're not going to have the relationship that say Glenn and Baldock had, so I'll give them the benefit. And it's hard to say with Percy because he didn't have his best game, did he? Let's face it. And I think any South African would be able to see that as well.
Well, they'll just say that he wasn't past the ball enough.
I've seen them
every comment.
Blaming Trossard for last week.
That number 11 used to pass to Tamor. Really? Come on.
But no, I think I think we can all agree it wasn't Percy Tau's best game. And look, whenever we talk about Percy Tau or Shaqiri or anyone for that matter, me personally, I'm not saying get them out of the club, they're not good enough, blah blah. I know for a fact that Percy Tau and Shaqiri both got good potential, but I think we got to talk about the now and what they're doing right now. And I think it's fair for us to say that they just at the moment, definitely in Blackpool game for sure, it just wasn't their day. Like I mentioned earlier, just to elaborate a bit more. So the Percy Tau for me, just he was very sloppy in possession. Even when he was on the ball, even just the simple, for me, the basics he wasn't doing right, and that was just what I was frustrated by. Because he looks for example, when I compare him to the Man City game, he was really good in that game. He was really good against Man City.
Even
and
then
I see him against
showed a bit of class as well.
Yeah. But then what was it against Leeds when he came on? I know again it wasn't. We can't. It's a bit unfair to judge on 10-15 minutes. But then in Blackpool, he was just so poor. So it's just seeing him, knowing what he can do, Man City, and then seeing him against Blackpool and Leeds, it's just frustrating because I know he can do better.
You don't become a bad player overnight. If you've got your class is permanent, form's temporary. So if you're a good player, you've got it. So as I say, it's hard to slate him, but based off that game alone. But he didn't have a great one.
And Ben, anything else to add that we haven't mentioned?
What about Percy?
On Percy, yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly, did he play more central, or am I chatting out my arse?
Well, he was pretty. He was pretty much
central.
I'd say
on
striker,
the right, wasn't
central.
He?
Yeah,
because obviously when he played when we were against City and even Newport, I think like his best time was down the right hand side, or maybe just any of the wings for example. So maybe for us, he's better off on the wing. Maybe he's not strong enough for English football down the centre. Maybe he should be that kind of quick little agile player on the wing.
Yeah,
I
know definitely. I think maybe he's still not up to the physicality, maybe, because obviously the Premier League and English football in general is very physical. And I know it's a very cliche thing to say, like, oh yeah, these, whenever someone comes from abroad, comes playing in England, it's like, the physicality of the Premier League. But I think it's actually a real thing. Like,
it is true.
Of course it is. And in terms of stature, he's not exactly the biggest, is he? He's very similar in terms of, he's a small, diminutive kind of player. So yeah, I think you do want him out on the wing and just be able to trick, because he can take on a player like he did against Man City when he actually set down Zinchenko. He can take on players easy. But it's just, I think going through the middle, I think you're right, Benny. I think he struggled with that. And just being able to get shrugged off the ball, for example. But so quickly then, just to wrap up Percy Cam. Ryan, let's start with you. Rating out of 10 for Percy.
4. Don't know.
Yeah.
4, 5.
I
don't know. I don't know what a fair rating is, to be honest.
I think that's fair, to be honest.
Yeah, 4 or 5. He didn't do anything really. He had a good little shot, but that's literally about it. Sorry, South Africans. But
please don't unsubscribe. Please don't unsubscribe.
But let's face it. As I say, like he's only just come into the team. It's been a couple of weeks. He's coming against, I think his second start, and his first one was against Man City, and he showed that he was a very good player. So I'm not just saying this for the sake of the South Africans.
Based on this performance. Yeah,
based on this performance, 4 or 5. Yeah.
Cool. Ben?
A big fat 5, I think.
Yeah, I think 4. I think I'm gonna go 4 as well. I think just based on that performance, it wasn't great. But no,
we'll go from 1.8 thousand subscribers down to 200.
Look, listen. We're not. We're just telling the truth. Like, no, it's not the truth. Sorry, it's our opinion.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to sort of talk about and just give our view on the game. So we're and
like we mentioned now, fuck your opinion.
Like literally, like you said, our subscriber count just goes whoop all the way down.
They seem a lot more realistic, I think. Like compared to other fan bases we've had, they seem a lot more realistic. But I don't know.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. They'll see what we're doing. It's nothing malicious or anything like that. We just, we're just, like I said, we're giving our opinion and that's it. So right. So wrap up the Blackpool game then. All in all, we can't complain, can we, boys? We can't complain. It was good. At the end of the day, we won, and that's the prime objective in the FA Cup. You just need to keep winning the games and hopefully reach a cup final. So that's the objective for us, and we did it. We got through it, and we looked comfortable throughout, and we created quite a few chances. And defensively, apart from the goal, obviously,
Blackpool didn't do anything, did they?
No, they didn't offer much.
They had 2 decent chances, and they scored 1 from them.
No.
Yeah,
I think Newport offered more than Blackpool. To be honest,
right. Yeah. They didn't do anything.
They did play some nice football when they had a good spell. They did play some nice football. Like, I think it's Neil Critchley used to be the Liverpool under-23s manager.
Oh, okay.
They actually played some decent football, didn't they? And I think I was quite a big fan of their right wing back, number 2. I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah, I know who you're on about.
He had some decent pace about him.
He had a good one. Yeah, he did.
But in the next round, I'm really not hopeful against Leicester.
Yeah,
God, no. I think it's the end of the road. But
I agree.
Who knows? Unless Maddison gets injured, Barnes gets injured, they all get injured.
Well, Vardy's out, isn't he? Vardy's out, so that could be a key thing for us.
Is Vardy out for it?
He's going through hernia. Yeah, well, he's got hernia surgery, so I think it's like a month. So is it going to be played in a month?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's out for a month. Every few weeks, isn't it? Every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Depending on when it's played, he could be out for that. So that's big because they don't really, in terms of strikers, what they got Iheanacho and
they played Perez.
Jose Perez. So
Perez is good actually. Perez is good.
Yeah, but they're not Vardy though, are they? Like Vardy's unbelievable. No. So that's already.
If we can have Vardy out, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, Perez always scores against us though. That guy's ruined my birthday. I remember on the 16th. That guy
ruined my birthday.
That's the pod title.
Jose
Perez ruined my birthday.
Jose Perez.
Pictures of Ryan. Wait, pictures of Ryan and Jose like when they're 6 years old. And it's like Jose blowing out candles.
No, I'm not even joking. I remember my 16th birthday. So what's that? 2017. Yeah, we're playing Newcastle. And your 16th meant to be a good. Your 16th meant to be a good birthday, is it? It's the one like, sweet 16. No, it really wasn't. I remember I went to the Amex, Newcastle. We went 1-0 up in the first 5 minutes or whatever it was, and Glenn Murray scored a
championship,
penalty.
Right?
Yeah. 80 minutes gone. Yeah. Perez scores, and it's 1-1. And this is a top v second or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
Perez scores in 80 minutes. Actually, no, it's Diame's flick thing, and it went over everyone. Do you remember that stupid goal?
Really, really horrific flick thing.
That goal,
that was on my birthday. So that flicked over Stockdale. That went in. That was 1-1. And then Perez scored in the 89th minute to make it 2-1 to Newcastle. So that guy ruined my birthday. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then he scored again when I went to Leicester last season.
That Diame goal, that was just the worst. Because I remember at the time as well, because like you said, it was first versus second. I remember at the time as well, all my mates were just absolutely ripping me. They're like, "Way Diame!" It was an awful, such a good goal. And I was like, I hate you.
Trust our club to have conceded the most embarrassing goal in football, that because that.
But
goal,
it was so.
On my birthday.
Am I right in thinking was that Gaetan? Did it come off? Was Gaetan Bong involved in that as well, or am I saying?
It was Bong. Yeah, Bong was on the line, I think, if I'm remembering properly.
I think, I think I remember seeing him, and I was like, I hate you more than I already do.
Bong was good back then. Actually, Bong was really good.
Oh, come off it.
Nah, he was.
Doing
Bong
quite
was
well
class
for
in the Championship. I don't know. He's
doing quite well for us. Yeah, he got an
assist. Bong was so good in the Championship.
Hold on, Ben. You're saying you've done quite well, but he's playing for Nottingham Forest, who are terrible at the moment.
No, they've won their last 6 games. Apart from they were on a run of 6 games without unbeaten
the other day
in the FA Cup. Yeah, and let's actually quickly talk about Forest. So obviously, Curacao Newton brought in Knockaert. Shout out Knockaert. Then he brought in Gaetan Bong at left back, and now that Glenn Murray is training alone, now he's interested in bringing Glenn Murray on loan from Brighton.
Oh, that'd be great.
So he's trying to get their band back together.
That'd be great.
Let's get the lads back together.
No, Bong was good back 2015. He was one of our best players. I used to love Bong back then. Everyone used to love Bong. 2015, 16. I remember he was really good.
I've never rated him, to be honest. I've never liked him.
Really?
I just thought,
back then he was class. He was good. It was just the Premier League he got found out.
Yeah,
ruined by an injury in the second season he was here as well.
Well, there you go. Bong, love him. I personally, I just never rated him. But no, fair play. Fair play. I can't really argue that.
He's got the Premier League memories in his mind.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. Maybe I was so focused on those seasons where he was just terrible.
2015, I'm telling you, watch Gaetan Bong reels. You'll love it. You'll love
it. Yeah, do you know what, Ryan? Do you know what? I actually am going to go. I'm going to go back and watch Championship Gaetan Bong highlights just so I can at least agree, say, because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. Yeah, I'm.
Good luck finding a Gaetan Bong highlight in 2015.
I'm sure there's one. Some random Cameroon fans just made a 20-minute reel.
You can try your best.
They're all 2-second clips of him just passing the ball. It's like,
sorry, guys.
That's amazing.
Good servant. Right. Good servant.
Yeah. All right, moving on from Gaetan Bong, because I don't know how the hell we got there. But right, let's talk about then Maty Ryan. Of course, that was a big transfer news for us. Now, Ryan, you actually, I'm going to give you a bit of credit here because was it the day before he got announced? You actually put in our group chat going, "Oh, have you guys heard about Maty Ryan to Arsenal?" And then I'll be honest, I was a bit whatever, I doubt that's going to happen. And then, to be fair to you,
Maz, I didn't know.
I know you had some inside scoop, and then the next day he bloody got announced, didn't he? As the backup, the backup to Leno, or competing against Leno. So first of all, Ryan, let's start with you. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's a good move for us? A good move for him? What's your general thoughts on it?
I mean, for him, I bet he's buzzing because he said it's his childhood club, isn't it? I bet he's absolutely loving it.
That's what they all say.
He does well. Yeah, true. I think he actually was, to be fair, because I saw some of his old tweets. But credit to him for getting the move. I don't see.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's better than their current player. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, just that Eddie Hearn meme when he walks in and goes, how'd you pull that one off then? And it's Maty Ryan's agent. Maty Ryan's agent to him. Sorry, go on.
No. Fair play to him for getting it. Credit to him. But as I say with Ryan, great servant, absolute legend of the club for what he's done. I seem to remember him always giving shirts to fans and just being an absolute legend on and off the pitch.
He was a legend.
He did I agree. I did slate him a bit when he had his poor run recently, but at the end of the day, he was a great servant for us, and I've been singing his name since 2017, so I can't go and knock that. And yeah, I hope he does well for Arsenal, because as he says, if it's his childhood club, I mean, if he gets the odd game here and there, if Leno gets injured by messing with Maupay again, he might get a chance. But credit to him for getting the move. And yeah, I didn't know about it. I don't know what you're on about. But no, I got a message on Wednesday about it, and I didn't believe it at first, but fair play, they got it right.
Believe it.
That person.
Yeah,
so
and Ben, you also got a bit of gossip about Ryan as well. You've been keeping us on tenterhooks. So just for everyone listening, basically for about a couple of weeks, he's been messaging me and Ryan going, "I got this big news about Maty Ryan." Blah blah blah. And we were like, "Can you just tell us?" And he's like, "No.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait. So go on, Ben. This is
it was literally like the day after we recorded the Leeds one. Actually, before that. I'll leave you on hold again. I was going to say my best memory of Maty Ryan. Sorry, I was in the North Stand with the boys, and then my mate Brett, who every game would always say, "I love you, Matty," whenever he'd come over to the North Stand, and then Ryan starts coming over, and then all these little kids at the front of the North Stand waiting to queue to get pictures and whatever, and then you see Brett walk down the stairs and literally push through all the kids and just go like that really picture and go, "I love you, mate," and just walk away, and then kids literally pushed out by kids. It's not funny. Yeah, going back to Matty, he was such a good player for the fans, wasn't he? He always came over and said hello and that kind of thing. So yeah, shout out Matty. So the goss, it's going to sound really obvious, but basically inside source, someone in Bloom's team, that really works really closely with Bloom, was saying that apparently literally like after his few bad results, they had a meeting about it. And they all just suddenly went, "Yeah, he's too small to be a goalkeeper in the Premier League," and just dropped him like that.
I'm not surprised, to be fair, because that links.
Yeah, how would you not have realised that before?
Because he's when he signed him, you must have known how tall he was.
Yeah. Do you know, Ryan measured himself the other day. I bet it was Maty Ryan's we're just going to do a squad measuring thing. It's just a squad exercise, and then it's literally just for Maty Ryan to see how tall he actually is.
I'm 5'8", by the way. I am 5'8".
Matty, take off the Air Forces. No, come on, mate. Let me keep them on. No, Matty, take them off. Get the Air Forces off.
And Maty Ryan's just like, "Where is everyone else? Where's everyone else?" "Oh no, Matty, they're coming, Matty, they're coming." He's just there in the room, that meme where he's just looking around in the room where is everyone?
He goes up to Christian Walton the next day. He's like, "Chris, what did you measure out?" It's like, "What are you talking about?" "Oh no,
yeah,
you got measured,
what test?
Right?
What
got
test?" Right. Anyway, that's less than that. Because I mean, I don't know how we're taking the mick, because I'm 5'5".
Yeah, Matt's 5'6", less than me. So.
Yeah, 5'6" on a good day when I got my Air Forces.
There you go. Air Forces.
But no. Like you both have said, he was a great servant for us. But I think it was time to make that move. And mate, how he swindled that move, I don't know how he's pulled that off. So fair play,
big dub.
Fair play to the
guy.
Although,
he's saying that he's an Arsenal fan. There was a tweet of this Spurs fan tweeting him back in 2013. It was, and saying, "Oh, Matty, it'd be great for you to one day put on the shirt." And then Matty was like, "Yeah, it'll be an honour." So I think he obviously probably was an Arsenal fan, but it can't be that much.
Plastic.
That tweet,
I think it was.
That tweet
I think it might have been a bit of a casual. And then final point from me as well. Any money if he does get a start somehow, if Leno gets injured or whatever, watch him turn into and let's say
he's going to be insane, isn't he?
But he'll turn into some Gianluigi Buffon regen. And it'll just be like, for God's sake, what?
In the TSR chat, there's a couple of Arsenal fans, and they were just saying we've just signed the best goalkeeper in the world. And I'm just like, if this actually happens, I'm actually going to cry. If he ends up being really, really good, we're just going to look so stupid.
Brian, it probably will.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Walton, for Arsenal, go on, Ben, go on.
I was going to say, like Walton, his contract's up, isn't it, at the end of the summer, so he'll be going on a free if he does do well at Arsenal, which is a shame. But I know we only signed him for 5 million, wasn't it, or something like that I saw. But it would have been good to get a few piece for him.
I mean, by the look of his message on Instagram and Twitter, it looks as though he's gone to me. I can't see him coming back now. It looks like it's done.
For sure.
Yeah, it was a very sincere one, wasn't it? So just to sort of read a little bit of it, it was to my Brighton family, I guess it's goodbye for now. It's been an incredible 3.5 years together until now. And then it sort of goes on to talk about the teammates, coaches, and does quite a heartfelt message. So I think you're right, Ryan. I think it's sort of his time's up.
It's
Brighton,
time to go.
It's time to go. Which, ultimately, it is definitely the right move, I think, getting a new keeper in.
The only thing is,
but
if he's bad for Arsenal, like say he does get a chance or Leno gets injured, they're worse than us. Like if he didn't like the hate that he got from Brighton fans, they're gonna get on his back because they are like
troops.
Madrid fans.
He's too small, blood.
Like Real Madrid fans of England. Literally,
he's Australian. Like, his arms are tiny, blood.
It's time to go, blood. It's time to go. But yeah, no, they're gonna get proper on him if he does. So I hope he doesn't perform badly for them because, he'll just turn into like a massive meme out of their fan base because like the Arsenal fan base is pretty nuts. But
we'll see what happens. I mean, like we've all said, good luck to him, and hopefully he does well there when given the opportunity. And then one person going out, a potential incoming in the goalkeeper department.
No, this makes sense.
Sergio Romero. So first, I'll start just quickly on Romero. I think if we did get him in, I think that'd be a class signing because whenever I've seen him play for United in the cup competitions, he's been unbelievable. Like he's been very solid. He's done his job. He's pulled off some really good save. He just looks like a safe pair of hands.
He's now, knowing I like though, caps for Argentina as well, isn't he?
Argentina,
he's clearly very experienced. So to bring him in to compete with Sanchez, I'm more than happy to do that, but I don't know what you guys. If you guys got any other different opinions on that?
I was going to say, looking at the fact that what I mentioned earlier, Will Walton potentially going on a free if we don't renew his contract, and Ryan probably be going on a free as well. This move makes sense. We do need to look for another keeper because we can't just be left with Sanchez and Steele. We need at least another one.
Steele's got COVID as well.
Yeah, he does.
Steele's got COVID at the moment.
Yeah. Anything else, Ryan, to add on the Romero?
Yeah, I thought I'd do like positives and negatives of signing him, and to be honest, the positives outweigh the negatives by quite a distance. Obviously, his experience, what he can teach Sanchez is going to be invaluable to him. You know, what he can teach him from his experiences in Argentina, Manchester United. He's seen all of it. So even I can't see him coming in as a number 2. I imagine he probably goes number 1. But even still, even if he is in and around it, and Sanchez goes out on loan again or something, I think he can just bring so much experience to the squad. And I just can't really see it being bad. I've heard he's very, very good. Man United fans tell me he's very good. But he is 33, so I guess that is sort of prime years for a goalie. But you are running your time a bit thin there. You may be looking at only about 2 or 3 years max.
Well, that's the thing though. It won't be a permanent though. It'll be a loan move.
Or if it's a loan,
I thought this would be permanent because they got Dean Henderson, their second choice, isn't he? So I imagine this will be permanent.
I've heard he said his goodbyes already to Man United fans. Like he said he wants to go this January. So one way or another he will be leaving. Whether it's to us or not, I don't know.
Right,
apparently, I've just got a message. West Ham are signing Jesse Lingard. That's a bit mad.
Amazing. Mate, I would not want it. Good. That's a good thing.
You wouldn't want him?
No, I would not want Lingard.
Who, Jesse?
He's finished. He's not. He would not bring.
Fair,
what would he actually, like in my opinion? Well, that's what I mean. And also, like, what would he actually add to the team for us? Who would he start?
Yeah, no, we don't need him position wise. We really don't need him. Yeah. But I think it's only because I watched like a real some of his highlights on Twitter. Someone put a video together, and he actually he scores some bangers.
For the sake of the nostalgia, it'd be great to get him back. Like just have Lingard back.
Yeah,
just to. But
I mean, I don't mind having him in the squad, just to do some TikToks or raise the morale a little bit. But apart from actually playing, beans. But apart from playing, just keep him well away from the pitch. But no, all right. So moving on then, Connolly and Lallana as well. They're returning from injury. I know Connolly's going to be on the bench against Fulham. Is that are we excited?
He's also been benched by his missus as well. Come on.
No, we're not going to go into that. Anyway, swiftly moving on.
Read what you want from that. Read what you want from that.
Don't say anything, Ben.
What do you mean? Everyone knows.
Connolly and Lallana. Anyway. Oh God. Anyway, Connolly and Lallana. Let's talk about their impact on the pitch and not off the pitch. What do you think is gonna, their impact on the team going to be? Boys,
Connolly and Lallana.
I lost it.
Yes.
Well, we all know what Connolly brings. Loyalty. No, kidding.
Oh my God. I can't do this.
Right, come on. Right.
Adam Lallana, we know he's creative, isn't he? No, it'll be great to have Lallana back against Fulham. He played quite well, I think, in a reverse fixture. at the Cottage. Speaking of the Cottage, sorry, it's going off on a tangent. Have you seen their new stand? It's going to have a swimming pool on it.
Yeah, I've heard about that. It's pretty mad.
They've got a swimming pool on top of the new stand that they're building.
What?
I've heard about that.
Yeah, mad.
It looks mad.
That's mental.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Connolly, good to see him.
How does that work? What are you going to do? Just go to
I'm so
Craven
confused.
Cottage and just go for a swim?
10 days of the year out of 365 in England.
Yeah.
Be decent swim.
Exactly.
I mean, that sounds like a terrible idea
for them, I suppose. So
Yeah, and also as well, that's probably not their worst idea because they had Michael Jackson as a statue outside Craven Cottage. So that's probably not going to be there. Do you not know that?
Yeah, do you know
they had Michael Jackson.
No, I didn't even know
Jackson
that.
outside. Yeah.
Michael Jackson
outside the cottage. Yeah, swear down.
Mohammed
If you Google it,
how do I not remember that?
Yeah, they had Michael Jackson. Yeah, Google it. Statue outside Fulham. Here we go. Fulham.
One of the most random
things. It was a proper one as well. It's so funny. Like, who thought, oh yeah, lads, let's get Michael Jackson outside Craven Cottage.
It was the Fulham owner, Mohammed Al-Fayed. He was mates with Michael Jackson, so as like a shrine to him, wasn't it? I don't know if it's still up when Michael Jackson passed away.
I think it must have taken it down by now, surely.
Must have taken it down after all of the...
the accusations. The accusations, yeah.
The Michael Jackson
all right,
stuff.
Cool. Right, so then going on to the Fulham preview then. So let's talk about Fulham. So first of all, I am rather scared, to be honest with you boys. I'm not going to lie. I think Fulham are really playing well at the moment. They've really sort of kicked on from... Yeah, 100%. And I feel like, we're playing well.
It will be 3. Sorry.
Yeah, but they obviously had that, as we mentioned earlier in the pod, they did have that bad result against Burnley. So could that work in our favour? What do you reckon, Ryan? Do you reckon that's going to be a big impact on them, or do you think they're going to sort of forget and just get on with the Premier League?
I mean, there's two ways to look at it, isn't it? They either react to it in the way that is positive and they come out fighting because they want to prove that they're not that bad, or they're negatively impacted by, they've been beaten and they're down and their confidence is low, which is hopefully the second one. Hopefully they're down and their confidence is low for us. But it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be, it's going to feel like a bit of a cup final, really. It's going to be like, it can literally go either way. I think it's one of those where form maybe goes out the window and it's just a bit scrappy. You asked me if I'd take a point before the game, and you think, a point at the end of the day is worse for them than it is for us, really. So, I would be happy if we did, because our home record isn't very good. So, would you be upset if we did get a point there? Like, would you be... Because we say it's a must-win, but then, they're the ones that need the points over us because they're below us at the end of the day. So
that's the thing. No, I agree with you. I don't think it's a must-win. But then at the same time, it's like, if we don't beat the likes of Fulham and the people around us, then do you then worry that we can't beat the ones at the top? So I agree with you. It's not like if we lost though. I think if we lost, then it becomes a problem. That's when it's like,
it's not the be all and end all, is it? But obviously,
if we draw,
I think people get mixed up with what must win means. So like must win 3 points to we survive, but it's like a game that we kind of
psychologically
really do need to win. We need to win.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, like Jay Rodriguez scored 2 goals against him. He hadn't scored in his past 19 games. Like, it's a bit embarrassing. And hopefully, although because they didn't have Areola in goal, and he's unbelievable. He's arguably one of their better players in goal. Like PSG lads didn't work out there for whatever reason, and it was a really good signing when they did in the summer when I saw them.
And Real Madrid, he was at Real Madrid as well.
Oh yeah, he's at Madrid as well. Of course. No,
so he's got the caliber.
I would have taken him at Brighton. He's great.
Yeah, and other players that I think personally I think I'm worried about is definitely Ademola Lookman. I think he's really kicked on.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Do you know what really sticks out for me is that moment against West Ham when he tried the Panenka penalty. Ever since then, I feel like he's had a very he's had that switch where he's like, oh god, like I messed up there. I really messed up. Now I've got to make up for it.
Apparently, he had a really good game in that game as well, which is really annoying for him because everyone would just remember him for the penalty. But apparently,
Exactly. He had that moment of madness where he just thought, I'll do a Panenka in the last minute to win the game. But then since then, he's really kicked on, and he looks really dangerous for them. Yeah. And
Loftus
for me,
Cheek
that's their
sort
sort of big
I
threat.
think that would be a good battle between. I know he kind of plays like a shadow striker almost, like behind the front
Who's
line. That? Loftus Cheek. I reckon he'll be pretty decent
as well. They've got a good midfield.
Anguissa. I was going to say Anguissa.
He reminds me a bit of Bissouma.
Yeah, I think that would be a great battle again in the middle. Anguissa versus Bissouma, that'll be a big battle. You know, whoever comes out on top of from that should hopefully win us the game. And one thing as well, actually, I was going to say about Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I was just quickly, if he scores a last minute winner, imagine he pulled up his top with a picture of like R.I.P. Frank on his t-shirt, like, because obviously he got sacked. And I'll be like, oh my god, imagine he done that. That'd just be
bit of a Danny Drinkwater. Did you see his story?
Oh my god,
today?
He put a story up, didn't he?
Danny Drinkwater is such an idiot, isn't he?
Is he still at Chelsea?
He's on loan.
I don't even know.
Yeah, he's on loan.
Who's he on loan? Is he at Burnley?
Kim Passa?
No, he's gone again somewhere now.
What? To Turkey. He's gone to Turkey. Yeah.
Danny Drinkwater's in Turkey. That's tragic.
Yeah. I know. What a fool.
Talking about Turkey, Talking about Turkey, I put it in one of a tweet for Seagulls Social. Was like saying, imagine. I'll start again. You know, Özil signed for Fenerbahce. If you don't know, the chairman like organised like a fundraiser to be able to pay for the move. So like he put out a text message campaign. Fenerbahce fans had to text like £2 or a £5 or whatever to the club to be able to pay for his wages. Imagine like if when we started Lallana for the 90k wages, if Tony Blue was like, look, we can't afford this, guys. Can you send us £2?
For me, that's
Ping
so
me
baffling.
£2 plus.
Yeah, because surely that's so baffling for me. Because surely, as a business, so let's be frank, football clubs are a business now. As a business, if you can't afford something, surely you don't buy it. It's just, I'm so baffled by how the chairman's thinking in his head. Like, it's just a very
show it sells maybe,
but.
God, no.
Yeah. I mean, they'll definitely make it back, won't they? Because those Ozil shirts will be flying. Yeah, they'll be flying out the door. To be fair. Anyway, but back to Fulham.
I was going to say something, Maz.
Go on, Ryan.
We talked about Lookman. I remember Lookman seemed to stick out of my mind. Didn't he score a couple against us for Charlton a couple of years ago when he was like 18? I seem to remember like burst on the scene. And he was like 18. I remember he scored a couple against us in that game. I think we won 3-2.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
No, do you remember? So yeah, he knows how to score against Brighton, which seems to be a common theme for most players. But yeah, he's he does worry me a lot. I've got to be honest. I forgot
him versus Dan Burn, bruh.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare.
Well, hopefully Karbovnik's ready.
On the on Fulham though, because obviously we faced them already, right? So we played them already at Craven Cottage, and we got a draw out of it. So with regards to sort of in terms of playing them recent, well, it was quite recent, wasn't it? It was just last year, like December.
Yeah, just before Christmas, wasn't it?
It was just New Year. So it was a 0-0 draw. Yeah. But both teams had good chances to win it. I remember we had a goal disallowed. Lallana, handballed it, didn't he?
Welbeck.
And then I think it's Welbeck. Yeah, Welbeck put it in. Or vice versa?
No, it's the other way around. Welbeck.
Okay, yeah. Lallana scored. And then Loftus-Cheek, I don't know if you boys remember, but Loftus-Cheek was like 1-on-1, and then he absolutely messed it up, and he could have scored as well. So yeah, I think it was like on reflection, it was quite an even game. So
Sanchez's debut, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he played really well, didn't he? He made a few good saves.
Spurs was his debut, but
Spurs was his debut.
Spurs was his first one where he impressed everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that could be a big bearing. Is like we played them not too long ago, so we know what we're coming up against. And the fact that that game, I look back at it and I think we could have nicked that. Like I know it was fairly even, but I think we were the better team on the day. But we just didn't get the result. Obviously, we left there with a point. So fingers crossed, we've learned from that, and we can just put them to the sword now and just get those 3 points that we need. I think because then that will really the gap will then be. What will the league table look like? I'm just going to check quickly now. So if we win on Saturday, they're 5 points off us. So if they win with a game in hand, they'll be 2 points behind us with a game in hand. So
that's what I was thinking.
That is worrying. But then if we win, we then go 20 points and we're 8 points clear with it, and they got a game in hand. So it's a huge game in that respect.
It is a big game.
So fingers crossed, boys. Let's pray.
Fingers crossed.
I'm with you.
But yeah, I think that's it, boys. Really. Anything else that anyone wants to add? Any other business that?
Hopefully, Yakamoto will be playing. Hopefully, he'll get a decent start. The Giant.
I was hoping to see him against Blackpool. Actually,
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I was quite disappointed actually not seeing him come on, because that was like my earlier question was like, do you want to see those kind of players, Yakamoto's and stuff? But then, and on the flip side, do you want to win the game? It's like because you don't.
Yeah, he can't just go into a Premier League game against Fulham. Can it be a bit much of a
that reminds me. I saw as Lech Poznan, his former manager, came out and said he's played like over 2,000 minutes in the past like X amount of games. I think it was like 19 games. Was that mathematically possible? I can't remember. He's basically just saying he's played a lot of games. Basically, he's saying that he's not surprised that Potter didn't put him in straight away and that he does really need a bit of a rest.
Right. Okay,
so that's probably why.
There you go. All right. Buzzing. All right, lads. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that one, especially the mini sort of breakdown you both had in the middle there, which was good. Right, so everyone watching on YouTube, please make sure that you do like, comment, and subscribe. It does help with the algorithm, etc., and really boosts us up on that. And of course, everyone listening as well on Spotify and Apple, keep streaming it. Again, really helps, and we really do appreciate it. And of course, we shall see you after the Fulham game, and we'll be looking forward to the weekend's football.
Bye.
Bye.